amazing how you walk around like that. Snake! Been waiting long?
Welcome to MojoPlays, and today we're double checking our codec as we look at 10 of the weirdest moments in Metal Gear Solid games. For this list, we'll be looking at the times in the Metal Gear Solid series that Kojima went full Kojima and made us question everything we thought we knew about video games. What was a moment in the Metal Gear Solid series that made you do a double take? Send us a message on frequency 140.15 on your codec. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. Puppy Pee, Metal Gear Solid.
Snake, what's wrong? I thought you were good with dogs.
Before they're even properly introduced, Sniper Wolf makes her presence known by wounding Meryl and leaving her as bait for Snake to rescue. In order to save her and fight Sniper Wolf, Snake needs to return to the tank hangar to retrieve a sniper rifle of his own. However, this means retracing your steps through the wolf's cave, and without Meryl by your side, they'll be less than friendly to Snake's intrusion. There is a way for Snake to become their best friend, but it's strange to say the least. Just before exiting the cave, Snake needs to hit Meryl and quickly switch to his cardboard box, and to defend Meryl's honor, the puppy will pee on Snake's box. While backtracking through the cave, if Snake equips this box, the wolves will recognize the smell and allow Snake to pass unharmed. It doesn't have to make sense to be effective. Mind Reader, Metal Gear Solid.
That's right. This is no trick. It's true power.
Arguably the most well-known moment on our list, but think back to first playing this game back in 1998 and having the game talk directly to you about your gaming habits, and just how mind-blowing and freaky that was.
You like Castlevania, don't you? You enjoy role-playing games. I see that you enjoy Konami games.
The entire fight against Psycho Mantis was unlike anything players had experienced at the time, and finding out that all your attacks against your psychic adversary were useless unless you switched controller ports was about as meta as it got back in the late 90s. You can technically defeat Psycho Mantis without the controller switching trick, meaning the true purpose of this entire mind-melting experience was simply Kojima having some fun at the player's expense, and setting them up for future moments where Kojima went out of his way to mess with gamers.
This is the first time I've ever used my power to help someone.
Major Ryden, Metal Gear Solid 3, Snake Eater. It's safe to say making Ryden the playable character for roughly 75% of Metal Gear Solid 2 divided fans more than any other moment in the entire series. However, instead of backtracking on this decision, Hideo Kojima leaned in fully and decided to troll players of Metal Gear Solid 3 with the character of Ivan Rydonovich Rykov, whose name roughly translates to Son of Ryden. Classic Kojima. This isn't the only major callback to Ryden's time in Sons of Liberty, as while in his Ivan disguise, Volgin will check Snake's equipment the same way President Johnson did to Ryden in Metal Gear Solid 2. Although Kojima claimed all of this was very integral to the plot of Snake Eater, all these years later, it's clear he was just having some fun at the player's expense.
It's gonna rub off on you. And then you'll lose sight of who you really are.
Glitching Colonel, Metal Gear Solid 2, Sons of Liberty.
My role? Why do you keep saying that?
Why not? This is a type of role-playing game. The point is that you play out your part, and I expect you to turn in a perfect performance.
In a series full of weird moments, this still ranks as one of the strangest. After Ryden manages to escape his predicament, thanks to Olga, and the mystery of Big Shell begins to unfold, Ryden's interactions with Colonel Campbell begin to take a turn for the bizarre. The Colonel appears to glitch out, referring to Ryden's mission as a simulation and even talking directly to the player and instructing them to turn off the console now. The game also begins affecting Ryden's Soliton radar as well, before the entire screen proclaims fission mailed, all while the player is still in control of Ryden. The realization that Ryden has been interacting with an AI of the Colonel the entire time blew the narrative wide open, as well as the collective minds of every player experiencing this twist for the first time.
Infiltrate the enemy fortress, Outer Heaven. Destroy the final weapon, Metal Gear.
Hospital Hell. Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain.
This is you, as you've lived until this day. Tomorrow, it becomes your phantom.
The opening level of The Phantom Pain is the stuff of video game legend, and maybe not always for the best reasons. The slow burn and extremely linear nature make it a slog, but the payoff is more than worth it even if it doesn't make a lot of sense and is mostly never touched on again. Everything from the giant flaming whale splashing down in the sky to the unicorn on fire makes the set piece memorable, and the reveal of a young psycho mantis sends players into a tailspin of wild theories over what it could all mean. The helplessness of Venom Snake as all hell is unfolding around him keeps the player on the edge of their seat, even if very few moments in the rest of the game can measure up to the grand spectacle of the opening hour. A savage nightmare. Metal Gear Solid 3, Snake Eater.
Come on, I don't want to hear this.
And there, standing before Renfield in human form was
Dracula!
Kojima sure does love his secrets, doesn't he? After surviving Volgan's torture and a very specific set of actions, when Snake falls asleep, he'll end up inside a nightmare of an entirely different game in which the player controls Guy Savage using twin blades to fight mutants, all while seemingly attempting to escape a prison. While extremely out of place within a Metal Gear Solid title, it was later revealed to be a concept for a game that was ultimately cancelled and was instead included as an Easter egg for dedicated fans. Fighting your way through the sequence, Snake will awake from his nightmare and will recount the events of his dream to the Major and Paramedic in a special hidden codec conversation only available for those who unlocked the nightmare.
It was almost real. I was holding this sword in my hand.
Snake, are you okay? You're not going loony on me, are you?
Deja Vu. Metal Gear Solid 5, Ground Zeroes.
Use them as clues to find the locations they show and recreate the scenes they depict. We're counting on you, Snake. Commence Deja Vu mission.
Rather than a single moment, we're going to highlight an entire mission in this entry. Originally a PlayStation exclusive bonus mission, Deja Vu sees the player recreating important moments from the original 1998 Metal Gear Solid and is only unlocked for players who collected all the XOF patches in the main Ground Zeroes campaign. The entire mission is a celebration of the Metal Gear Solid series with too many nods and callbacks to even mention here, but each time Snake recreates one of these mini scenes, players will be treated to flashbacks of the events from the first game, and at the end even have to complete a quiz that will unlock the classic Snake and Cyborg Ninja skin.
Impressive work, Snake. Mission complete is not what I'm here to say. Believe it or not, the real mission starts here.
Naked Raiden. Metal Gear Solid 2, Sons of Liberty.
Jack, I never thought I'd see you again.
With the events of Sons of Liberty being a recreation of the events of Shadow Moses, it was inevitable that Ryden would end up in the same predicament as Snake and tortured much in the same manner. However, this time around, Revolver Ocelot and Solidus Snake took things a step further and left Ryden in nothing but his birthday suit. In a normal game, that would be where this entry ends. But this is a Kojima game after all, and the man has a very wicked sense of humor. After escaping his restraints, Ryden is left to find his gear without his gear, running around naked and doing his best to remain undetected. It remains one of the most memorable moments in the game, which is saying something, and that's even before Ryden starts doing his cartwheels. Liquid Rearmed. Metal Gear Solid 2, Sons of Liberty.
I am Shalashaska, also called Revolver Ocelot.
After Revolver Ocelot was disarmed in the original Metal Gear Solid, it was more than a little surprising to see him return to his monologuing ways near the end of the tanker chapter in Sons of Liberty, fully armed once again. However, once Snake reveals himself, something truly weird happens as Ocelot's new arm appears to take control, revealing its Liquid Snake's arm grafted onto Ocelot, and only in the presence of Snake can he freely take control. By the time we reach Guns of the Patriots, we discover that Ocelot was just pretending to be controlled by Liquid, but given this is Kojima and the Metal Gear Solid series, up until this reveal, everyone, including Snake, believed Liquid was possessing Ocelot through his severed arm.
I've been inside this arm all along, waiting for the right time to awaken.
Johnny's IBS. Metal Gear Solid series.
Go away! I'm not done yet!
The longest running joke in the Metal Gear Solid series, Johnny Sasaki's upset stomach is referenced in nearly every Metal Gear Solid game from the original to Phantom Pain. Clearly played for laughs, Johnny will routinely be found either rushing to the restroom before it's too late, or already in the middle of his struggles with the porcelain gods. Johnny's problems appear to be hereditary as well, since players can encounter some form of Johnny's ancestors suffering from the same problems all the way back in Snake Eater and Phantom Pain before Johnny's most embarrassing moment at the end of the series' timeline when he gets caught with his pants down in Guns of the Patriots. Even more bizarre is Johnny was the soldier Meryl knocked out in Shadow Moses and then somehow ends up marrying her in Metal Gear Solid 4. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from MojoPlays, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.